So this month's student Python challenge is to create a very simple Python calculator. So what you're going to want to do for this is you need to go over to microsoft.github.io ptvs because they've moved from their old Codeplex site to the GitHub site. And so as a result, this is where you're going to find your Python tools for Visual Studio. If you already have the Python tools, you don't need to re-download them. But if you don't, then you're going to want this site. And you're going to want to go into PTVS 2.2 here in Downloads. And you'll scroll down a little bit and grab the flavor of Python you want. If you've got VS 2015, you'll use that. If you have Visual Studio 2013, you'll use that MSI. So once that's installed, open up Visual Studio. And from Visual Studio, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. And we're going to come down to the Python projects, and just a basic Python application will be fine. So you're going to want to name it whatever you're going to name it. So I just named mine based on the month and for DevMov. And then we're going to go and create that project. So Python is a very powerful language with some benefits, and you might want to do a little bit of reading up on Python before you do this project, but it's a very simple ask from Microsoft for this one is just take two numbers given by the user and print them to the screen after adding them together. So what we need to do is we actually need to define a new function. So we're going to do define, and we'll add with the arguments of x and y. So we're calling the function add. We can call that function anything we want. We can call it do math if we want. But what that defined function is going to do is it's going to return the value of x plus y. And to give you an idea of what that is, we'll just zoom in a little bit, and you can see that all we're doing is we're taking in our our x and our y arguments, and we're going to give out a value of x plus y. So obviously we need to get x and y. So what we're going to do is we'll take x equals, and the user is going to put in a string, so we need to convert it to an int. So what we'll do is we'll do an int, and we'll take the input from the user. And what's happening here is we're telling the system that convert the response to an int, and to get the response we're going to take input, and then the input obviously needs a prompt, so that's this value right here in the string. And we're going to need to do something similar for the y. So y will equal int input enter y, and we'll close that. Now then, the last thing we need to do is we need to print the answer to the screen. So we're going to do a print command here, and this is fairly simple because we're going to put in a simple string, a series of strings I should say. Now the interesting thing here is that we're calling our method add from within this print call. So what this is going to print out is the value of x plus y equals, and then whatever we return from that x, y. So let's run that and see what happens. So here we have it asking for us to enter x, so let's give it a value of 2. Y is about, we're going to do 5, and it puts out 2 plus 5 equals 7. So we'll zoom that in just so you can see. And there we go. Now to do the requirements for this, you need to take a screenshot of this window, your output, as well as this code. So if it looks like right now, then you can just hit your print screen and save that to MS Paint or to whatever other image editing software you prefer.